If you think the Ultra Music Festival in Croatia is just about music, get ready to find out that you are so wrong, because this trip is not just about beats, lasers, and crazy crowds. It is about living an experience that mixes history, breathtaking landscapes, and moments that seem like they are from another planet. Imagine this. In the morning, you walk inside a Roman palace that has become a living city. In the afternoon, you dive into a beach with surreal blue water. And at the end of the day, you are toasting with a spritz in your hand, watching a sunset that looks like a real-life filter. All this before hitting the Ultra dance floor until dawn. If you are going to Split to experience the festival, believe me, you are about to discover that the festival is just the beginning. And in this video, I will show you the 5 places you need to visit to make this trip simply unforgettable. Get ready, because after watching this video, you will not be able to plan your trip any other way. Diocletian's Palace, where history breathes all around you. Imagine this. You walk through a stone archway, and suddenly, it feels like a time machine has thrown you straight back to the 4th century. But surprisingly, you don't see silent ruins or empty corridors. On the contrary, Diocletian's Palace pulsates with life. The time-worn stones form narrow alleys that echo the footsteps of those who lived there more than 1,700 years ago, now mixed with the laughter, voices, and music of today. Charming cafes occupy the former soldiers' quarters. Restaurants operate where the imperial rooms once stood. And if you look closely, you'll notice that within these ancient walls, there are still people who live there to this day. You walk among giant marble columns, vestiges of the power of the Roman Empire, while all around you, street artists play violins, saxophones, or guitars, creating an almost cinematic soundtrack for your walk. Suddenly, you turn a corner and come across the peristyle, the palace's central square, where the steps serve as a grandstand for tourists and locals to enjoy a glass of wine while watching the sunset turn each ancient stone golden. Every time you look, there's a surprise. Little shops hidden inside ancient underground corridors, secret passages that take you to squares that look like movie sets, and even bars that operate inside Roman domes that are over a millennium old. Being at Diocletian's Palace isn't just about sightseeing. It's literally living inside history, where the past and the present dance side by side. And believe me, there's no place in the world that compares to that feeling. Riva Promenade, where life really happens in Split. Imagine waking up in Split, and before you can even think about what to do, your feet automatically take you to Riva Promenade, as if your soul already knows that this is the right place to start or end the day. As soon as you arrive, you understand it's impossible not to fall in love. On one side, the crystal blue of the Adriatic Sea, with boats gently rocking and the salty smell of the breeze filling the air. On the other, a perfect sequence of elegant cafes, relaxed bars, and lively restaurants, all lined up under the shade of palm trees that slowly sway in the wind. People from all over the world mingle with the locals. Some sip an espresso while watching the boats come and go. Others simply sit on the benches, wearing sunglasses, absorbing that light and vibrant energy. There's music at any time. Whether it's from street artists playing guitars, saxophones, or even accordions, or from the sound of lively conversations that echo as part of the city soundtrack. And if in the morning, the Riva has the soul of coffee and croissants overlooking the sea, in the afternoon, it transforms. The tables fill up with glasses of chilled white wine, Aperol spritz, and plates of fresh seafood. And when the sun starts to touch the horizon, painting the sky with shades of gold, orange, and pink, you understand that this is the kind of sunset that you don't photograph, you live it. The feeling is almost universal. At some point, looking at that perfect scene, the calm sea, the mountains in the background, the boats arriving, the happy people coming and going, you think, why don't I live here? The Riva is not just a promenade. It's the beating heart of Split. It's where the city breathes, celebrates, lives. And, believe me, you'll want to go back there every day while you're in Croatia. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, subscribe to the channel because there's a lot more content coming about the biggest festivals in the world and the craziest destinations you can visit beyond music. That way, you won't miss any tips that can literally change your travel experience. Let's keep going. Batch Vice Beach, where the sea meets the party and tradition. Imagine stepping onto the soft sand of Bachvice Beach, feeling the warm sun on your face, hearing the sound of the waves mixed with laughter and lively conversations, and realizing that this place is not just a beach. It's practically the living room of the city of Split. As soon as you arrive, the scenery wins you over. A sea so clear blue that it seems to have been edited. Warm, shallow, and crystal clear water that stretches for meters, perfect for both those who want to relax and those who want to immerse themselves in the local culture. Here, it doesn't take long for you to notice something curious happening in the water. A group of Croatians, men, women, young people, and even some older people, are playing something that looks like volleyball mixed with soccer, but without a net. It's piscine, a typical local sport played in shallow water. The goal? Keep a small ball in the air for as long as possible using any part of your body with acrobatic dives and guaranteed laughter. Watching is fun in itself, but if you're brave, they'll invite you to play. Meanwhile, on the sand and on the sun loungers, the energy is different. People tanning, drinking colorful drinks, listening to music, reading, or simply watching the natural spectacle of people coming and going. The vibe here is young, relaxed, and full of life. A perfect mix of locals proud of their beach and tourists delighted to have discovered this little urban paradise. But it's when the sun starts to set that Bachvice completely changes its personality. The relaxed beach atmosphere gives way to the rhythm of the music that starts to rise in the beach clubs that line the shore. What used to be a cafe during the day turns into a dance floor at night. Drinks flow, DJs start spinning the decks, and the sea, which used to be a place for diving and playing piscine, now becomes the perfect backdrop for parties under the stars. Bachvice is the kind of place where you start the day in flip-flops, sipping coconut water, and end it in sneakers, dancing until the early morning light. It's more than just a beach. It's an experience. It's a lifestyle. It's Split at its most vibrant. Var Island, where paradise meets partying and Mediterranean luxury. Imagine boarding a catamaran that glides over a sea so blue it looks like it was hand-painted. The wind blows in your face. The smell of salt invades your senses, and, little by little, the silhouettes of the green mountains and the white stone houses of Var Island appear on the horizon. And that's when you realize you're about to arrive in one of the most magical places in the Mediterranean. As soon as the boat docks, the first thing that catches your eye is the harbor, surrounded by luxury yachts, pleasure boats, and small local boats. Var's streets are like stone labyrinths, where every turn reveals a new discovery. Charming cafes, sophisticated restaurants hidden in alleys, squares illuminated by the golden sun, and historic buildings that seem to have stopped in time. The city center exudes elegance and relaxation at the same time. Well-dressed tourists walk side by side with backpackers, all mesmerized by the beauty around them. High above, the Var Fortress watches over the town, offering one of the most surreal views of your life. The sea dotted with islands, boats gliding back and forth, and a sunset that paints the sky in hues ranging from intense orange to deep purple. But Var is not just a setting, it's an experience. In the morning, people explore its hidden beaches, such as the idyllic Dubovica, where the water is so clear you can see every pebble on the bottom. At noon, the island comes alive with famous floating beach clubs, such as the legendary Carpe Diem Beach, which is located on a nearby islet and is only accessible by boat. There, the party starts early with electronic music, drinks in hand, and people dancing in bikinis and swim trunks under the Croatian sun. And when night falls, Var transforms. The lights of the restaurants reflect on the calm water of the harbor. The bars fill up. The streets take on a vibrant and elegant atmosphere, and the parties continue until dawn. It's the kind of place where luxury meets nature, where the sophistication of nightlife meets the simplicity of swimming in a surreal sea early in the morning before everything starts all over again. Var is not just an island, it's a state of mind, a place where every sunset seems like the most beautiful of your life, until you see the one the next day. Krka National Park, where nature feels like it's straight out of a movie. After days of immersing yourself in the euphoria of the dance floor, with the sound of the drops still echoing in your head, your body is asking for a breather. And that's where a place that seems to have been designed by nature itself to recharge souls comes in. Krka National Park. The journey begins leaving Split on a trip of just over an hour and a half that takes you along roads flanked by mountains, charming villages, and lush green fields. Little by little, the urban landscape fades away and gives way to something almost magical. When you arrive at the park entrance, you can already hear, even from a distance, the mesmerizing sound of the falling waters. It's as if nature is calling you. With each step along the suspended wooden walkways, you are surrounded by an explosion of greenery. Moss, tall trees, leaves that dance with the fresh breeze, and the smell of wet earth mixed with the perfume of fresh water. And then, you arrive at the star of the park, Skredinsky Buk, a series of giant waterfalls that fall at different levels, forming natural pools of such crystal clear emerald green that you can see fish swimming around your feet. The water runs over rounded rocks, creating that relaxing sound that only those who have been surrounded by nature understand. It's music, but made of water, wind, and life. And do you know what's even more surreal? You can swim there. That's right. As the waterfalls roar around you, you dive in, float, feel the cool water touch your skin, and look up, watching the sun pass through the droplets flying in the air, creating small rainbows that appear and disappear like magic. But the park is not just about the waterfalls. It is all interconnected by trails that take you to incredible viewpoints, small hidden monasteries, historical ruins, and spots where you simply stop, breathe, and realize that you are in one of the most beautiful places in Europe, if not the world. Being at Krka is the kind of experience that makes you forget about your cell phone, because no matter how incredible the photos are, nothing compares to the real feeling of being there, body and soul. It's a detox for the senses, a perfect break between one rave and another. And yes, when you're lying in that natural pool, looking at the waterfalls, you'll ask yourself, how can this place be real? See? Ultra is insane, but what Croatia has to offer you beyond the festival is simply surreal. And if you want to turn your trip into the best experience of your life, don't stop here. In the next videos, I'll show you how much it costs to do this trip, tips on where to stay, how to get around, and even more incredible hidden gems in Split and the islands. So subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and comment below. I want more tips about Croatia. That way, I know you're in the mood, and I'll bring you even more intense content to help you prepare for Ultra and the trip of your dreams. See you in the next video, or maybe on the Ultra dance floor. Let's experience it together.